let's actually break down a SMART goal. So we mentioned that earlier, what a SMART goal means, and it's a acronym. It's specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely. So when we're talking about making a goal specific, what does that mean when you're working with a client?
Well, not making it general like I did with I'm going to get more sleep.
Right.
Like that's a very general, non-specific goal. But go ahead.
Yeah, I was when we have like prospective member intake forms come in, and we expect this anyway. But it'll say lose weight or tone,
be healthy,
or be healthier habits. You know, things that get more flexible, and like we expect that it's part of our job to extract some more specific, measurable goals out of that. But yeah, when we talk about be specific, it's like, okay, well, how much weight do you want to lose? How much muscle do you want to gain? What body fat percentage do you want to be at? And sometimes, if you don't know, it helps to have a strategy session to help figure those things out. But yeah, we want to be as specific as possible, because otherwise, I mean, all right, if it's lose weight and you lose 0.5 pounds this year, are you happy with that?
Yeah.
You technically lost weight. Made our job very easy.
You need to know where you're going to be able to achieve it. Like if you set a goal of losing weight, again, you don't know how much you need to lose or what you need to do to get there. That's really the big thing. And then measurable, that is both in how much weight or whatever you're trying to do, but also you need to be able to measure your progress. Like what direction are you going, and are you going in the right direction?
Right.
Do you guys have any other thoughts on making a goal measurable? Any tips on what kind of things you should look at?
Yeah, one of the important things too, like you'll see people that are like, well, I weigh every day, or I weigh only every week, or I only weigh once a month. And then you have people who will do like the body metrics, and they want to see progress every month, and you have to know what you're expecting.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to see huge jumps if you're weighing every day. If you weigh once a month, you might see some swings that you're not happy with, and there's no way to undo that. Not undoing the past anyway. When you do the body metrics and you're doing a body composition analysis, well, what are you expecting when you're doing it every month? Are you expecting a 1% drop, 1 to 2%? Because that's probably what it should be. Or are you expecting like, man, I was hoping to drop 10%? Like, well, that's completely unrealistic. So setting up like how you're going to measure and when you're going to measure those things, and understanding what to expect. Another thing that we set up in strategy sessions, but that's the way to make it measurable.
For members, we offer body metrics for everyone there. You can get it once a month so that you're able to. And body metrics is basically an ultrasound that measures or estimates how much body fat you have and your muscle mass and those kinds of things. So it can give you a good gauge, a better gauge of like where your body actually is versus a scale. So we do offer that on a monthly basis. You just talk to Brendan and he'll get you scheduled. So that is one of the best ways that you can measure your actual progress in the gym, because the scale can lie to you. Next up, we have achievable. What does that mean to you, and how do you guys help people like work on that aspect of setting a goal?
Well, I mean, an easy example for me is if, I set a goal for I'm going to run a marathon like in the next like couple months. Well, I've never ran more than 4 miles. So to do that in the next 2 months would probably be like unrealistic or not achievable, right?
Yeah.
So doing something that's like realistic, like you had said, just something that's actually attainable, so that way you're not setting yourself up for failure like right off the bat. Obviously, like that's going to affect the mental side of things too, right? So then you already go into your next goal being like, well, I failed the last one. It's like you're not even making realistic goals or like actually attainable goals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you have to know your own limitations. If you have, and again, relating to fitness, if you have certain injuries, you have certain illnesses or something like that that you're dealing with, those obstacles you may have to adjust your original goal a little bit. And so, making it achievable is recognizing your own limitations.
Do you have the resources or abilities? Like, and do you have enough money to be able to hire a trainer? Do you have enough of the ability to train by yourself or to lift the weight or do the exercises? Do you have the injuries that would allow, or lack of injuries that will allow for you to do certain things? Those all kind of lean into being achievable. So we have to be realistic of what we are capable of doing and kind of work from there.
Yeah.
Like for me, I'm never going to be a sailboat captain within the next month. Like I don't know how to tie the knots. I don't know how to sail. Okay.
Well,
like I
plus,
can't just
like, do you have a boat on
No.
hand?
Yeah.
Right. So that it's the same thing as being
Mhm.
like, I'm going to be like the best swimmer, but the biggest body of water I have is my bathtub. Like, well, you're probably not going to end up being a great swimmer because you have no room to actually swim. So you don't
Yeah.
even have the resources to achieve that goal.
Yes.
So it's probably not going to end up being attainable.
And then relevant. This is something that I think a lot of people fall on, is making a goal relevant to them. They may feel like it's relevant. So what do you guys think about how can we actually make goals relevant to ourselves or helping our clients get relevant?
Well, I mean, you were kind of talking about it before we started recording. If you want to continue where you said that sometimes people just make a goal because they think that they have to.
Right.
And
Yeah. I mean, you just make a goal or adopt something like, again, that somebody else said
Mhm.
because you're like, oh, I just need to like
Mhm.
pick one. Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like why, a lot of the things that we see when we have clients that, they'll still list weight loss as their goal. And maybe they mean fat loss or something. They'll still talk in terms of like, oh, I need to lose 5 or 10 pounds.
Yeah.
And I mean, maybe that number on the scale means something to them that I don't understand.
Mm.
But if we're talking about like your health reasons or other, there's really not a reason that I can see that they would need to lose 5 to 10 pounds. In fact, like if they added 5 pounds of muscle, then, they'd be heavier, but they would probably have the physique and the strength and other things that they're actually looking for. So understanding what your goal and how it actually relates to you. So saying like, losing 5 to 10 pounds, well, that's not really relevant to somebody who's already fairly lean. What we're looking for is, muscle building or, better conditioning or, tightening up the diet, something like that.
When I work with people on relevancy with their goal setting, is breaking it into a more emotional aspect of things. Like, does this like genuinely matter to you on the inside? Like, if you want to lose weight, cool, but like, why is weight loss important to you?
Yeah.
And beyond that, I usually do like the 5 whys whenever I'm like really nailing down someone's goals. Like, I want to lose weight. Why? They say something to get the scale number down, but like, why is that important? And then keep breaking that down. And eventually, sometimes you'll get people crying because they're realizing like they had a divorce last year and they're not feeling like they're going to be able to find someone to be in a relationship with. And ultimately, that's way more impactful of a relevant goal reasoning than I just want to lose weight. And it can be challenging to make a goal relevant, but it's also really important to make it mean something to you and to keep that goal front of mind, because that pain point of if you want to lose weight because you don't feel like you can be loved or you're having trouble dating, like that matters more to you than just, I want to lose weight or lose 10 pounds or see 140 pounds on the scale. Like whatever it is, make it relevant so it means more to you, so it's front of mind and you can actually work with it.
Well, you go ahead.
I was just going to say that, I mean, in terms of like actually sticking to your goal, creating that emotional connection will definitely like get people to stick to it, especially in those times where they're not necessarily the most motivated.
Yeah.
That's where like it's easier to persist when it actually matters, and especially with the emotional connection. But like, and part of that too is like making goals relevant in terms of like bettering your life, right?
Yeah.
If it's going to impact your life in a positive way, right, you're going to have that extra motivation. You're going to want to persist because you know what the end goal is. You know that it's, so again, going back to the losing weight, but it's like, well, how is that going to better your life? How is losing 5 pounds, how is that going to make your life better?
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, well, I don't know. Right,
Yeah,
well, that's where getting behind the why. I mean, yeah, like you said.
Yeah, I was thinking same type of thing. We actually mentioned it when we were talking about Peter Attia in our last podcast, or you did with the kind of, I forget what you called it, but the list. and working backwards, where it's like, what do I want to be able to do when I'm, however many years old, and then working backwards from there. So it doesn't even necessarily have to be losing weight. What activities do you like to do? Well, can you do those activities at, whatever weight you're at right now? You just need the strength, or you need some cardiovascular help. All right, well then let's make those the goals and those the stepping stones, rather than some arbitrary number on the scale. Like you want to do stuff.
We should make it our goal to make the goal of 2026 no more like weight loss type goals.
Yeah.
Like literally anything else, like especially like behavioral, or like, I mean, I know we had mentioned something about like, how about just making it like, I want to be consistent in the gym 3 times a week, right? Something that's not having to do with weight loss. Let's start making those our goals. Or like, I want to be able to hike this trail and, or do something like activity based instead of just making it always about weight loss. That would be awesome.
It would be awesome. It would make our jobs much easier, because we can't really hold people's hands at home. And a lot of weight loss is going to come from the nutrition. Like, we can talk about it and we can help people, but like, are they going to actually follow it at home? So
actually, most of it is going to come from nutrition and recovery. I mean, even if you're making progress in the gym, you're still here way less than all the other times that you're eating and sleeping.
We see people 2, 3, maybe 4 hours a week. There's a lot of other hours now in the week that you're going to have control over. Last but not least is making goals timely. Like, is there a time scale or any other way of measuring your goal, or when you should have completed your goal? How do you work with people of setting like realistic goals in a timely manner, with strength or habit-based or behavioral-based things?
Well, this has to go back to being realistic too, right? Like when you're setting these, like especially, as Shane said, you're laying out steps, and then you want to end up setting time, like little deadlines for those steps. You have to be realistic. It can't be like, all right, you have to drop 10 pounds in 1 week, and it's like, all right, well, that's not realistic. Like, you're already setting up and you're failing stage 1 of your ultimate goal, which is not a great start. So making sure things are realistic. Now, knowing the person, sometimes people work better under pressure. Sometimes people need a little more time to adjust. So kind of knowing personalities will help you kind of be able to figure out, okay, again, is this realistic for this person? Because what's realistic for one person may not be realistic for everyone else.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I also, kind of tailing off of what you last said there, where some people need to work a little more under pressure. I mean, I forget who said it, but you're going to use all the time that you give yourself to actually do something. So, if you say you're going to clean the house by the end of the day, you're probably going to take most of the day to do it. But
especially
if you say
us procrastinators,
if you say I'm going to clean the house between 9 and 10 or whatever, you'll get a lot more done. Same thing comes with the fitness stuff, where it's like, if it's an open-ended goal, well, it's like, well, that's all right, I'll start next week, or I'll do this. Where if you say like, hey, all right, these are the averages, this is what I'm able to put into it, blah, blah, blah. This is how hard I want to hit the goal and by this time. Even if you don't make the mark, you at least have something to judge it by. And then when you get to that milestone, you can tweak whatever part of the plan that you need to tweak.
The other thing is having a time frame makes it more top of mind, because like, by March, you want to do something. You can kind of break it down into what we'll talk about later, of a system of, you need to hit this goal, this micro goal by X date. And then you need to hit this next step by X date. And you can kind of break it down from this big goal of maybe multiple months or the full year into smaller, more manageable things that you can do day to day. And that's one thing that really matters a lot with goals, is like breaking down something big into what do I actually need to do to achieve this thing.